In my opinion, one of the most clearly overlooked strategies for maximizing cash flow and income on rental properties is by the relationships that we have, the strategic partnership, I call it, with the tenants and those that are taking up occupancy at our rental properties. You see, over the last couple of months, we've been talking about cash flow. We've been talking about how to maximize rental income, and of course, in the very first part of it, we've talked a little bit about making sure that we buy right. And certainly, it's a huge part of making sure that we're maximizing cash flow on our properties, is making sure that we are analyzing properties the right way, running the right numbers, doing all the necessary things that we've already talked about buying right. After we buy it right, certainly there's a huge aspect of making sure that we're successful with that property, is not just how we buy it, but then how we rent it. So there's different creative strategies that we can take advantage of to make sure that we're getting as much rental income coming in on each property. And then of course, if we bought it right and we have the enough equity and enough a low position as far as our LTVs and lower expenses and payments, all that kind of stuff, then it's going to be a huge profit margin. But more than that, okay, just as important as those things, and of course buying is important and the way we rent it is important, but just as important as that is the way we manage the relationship that we have with our tenants, those that are living in the property. So often I call this the most overlooked way, or the most overlooked cash flow strategy, and that's how we deal with our tenants, because most landlords, most rental property owners, their strategy is more of a kind of rent it and forget it, right? Set it and forget it type of deal. And once they've got somebody in there, then the relationship is kind of over. But you're missing out on a huge opportunity to be able to create additional revenue streams and also make sure that you're capitalizing on certain aspects of that relationship. So we are going to be talking about that at this, again, one-time only free webinar. If you want to get registered for it, you can do so at piginvestor.com. Go right now to piginvestor.com. Get registered for the webinar. It's coming up this Thursday, December 5th at 7 p.m. And again, we're going to be talking about what I call the most overlooked cash flow strategy, and that is the strategic, intentional relationships that we have with our rental property owners, okay? I mean, with our tenants, right? So those that are staying in our rental properties, how are we capitalizing on those relationships? So don't waste any time right now. Go get registered, piginvestor.com, and we will see you guys Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Again, get registered right now at piginvestor.com. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your Thanksgiving week, and I can't wait to see you on the webinar.